The year was 1986, the decade of big hair, Michael Jackson, and political reform in Fiji. A young Fijian Indian woman decides to take a chance at fate and migrate at the age of 17 from Fiji to New Zealand. Her emotional diaspora journey is narrated with the changing nature of home and arrival. We warp through time to see how she encounters Roger Cohen's idea of contemporary homelessness and narrate how a young woman rises above James Wood's notion of racial sovereignty and temporary isolation from migrants seeking a more meaningful and better life. All interviews were conducted and reproduced through voiceover. We grew up very poor in Fiji, so I decided to work for myself. I moved to New Zealand to gain a better future, a safer future. The Fijian coup was already causing so many riots. I didn't feel safe anymore. Arriving in New Zealand was exciting, but very difficult. The weather and geography was another issue. I wasn't accustomed to the cold and I couldn't drive, so I either had to walk everywhere or take public transport. The culture was very different. I could wear what I want, I could go where I want, and I could earn independently. Back then, this was not welcomed in Fiji. I loved my freedom and self-determination. I learned about new transport systems, especially trains. That helped me quite a lot when I worked far from home. There were so many restaurants and centers that I got really excited, unlike in Fiji. There wasn't much of an Indian community in New Zealand in 1986. It was lonely. Some knew about my hardship, so they helped me. I was scared to sometimes go places because I didn't know what the people would be like. It took me out of my comfort zone, and I had the desire to learn new customs and assimilate into Western culture. Diwali is the Indian celebration and festival of light and new beginnings. It is a time in our culture that is spent with good food, friends, and family. The distinction between Eastern and Western countries is the enormity of the celebrations in the East. I loved it in Fiji because I celebrated with loved ones, and there was so much food and sweets. Back then in New Zealand, we didn't celebrate Diwali much. I didn't know enough people to celebrate with, and I wasn't a very good cook. I loved my life in New Zealand, but I did miss a lot of things. I mostly missed waking up in the morning in Fiji, the fresh smells and the animals making noises. I missed the togetherness of my brothers and sisters, especially on holidays. Sometimes the issue was that I couldn't get a day off on Diwali, which made me really sad. Home had changed, but as the years went by, New Zealand became my home. I felt more comfortable there than in Fiji. Over time, I created strong friendships and memories, and it gave me a chance to create a happier future, which is what I always wanted.